March Madness for VIR of 2024 is over. Good weekend overall, quite an eventful weekend, and there were some experiences on track that I've never ran into before, which was interesting. Seems like DE1 and 2 are pretty tame, and then all the exciting craziness happens in DE3. But anyway, started off with a wild Thursday and Friday. Saturday was pretty wild as well, even though I did sleep in the trailer. But no, it was nerve-wracking just because going to class, as I had described, I got called out, but also for the fact that there was a check ride, and I'm not normally a good test taker. And as we were driving through, going on the check ride, the instructor was like, "Dude, it's okay. You don't have to point out everything to me. Just show me that you can control the car, you know the lines, and you're aware of what's going on. You don't need to tell me everything that's going on. Just show me that you know how to handle everything." So that was pretty cool. But Anyway, I want to just highlight some things that I learned over the weekend. But actually, first off, not to identify him too much, just for his own privacy, but I do want to say I am thankful that my buddy Ben was able to walk away from his incident under his own power. He needed help, but he could have wandered away, but for medical reasons he was not. But he was able to walk out in due time and got home safely and all that. So very much thankful that he was able to walk away and is able to continue on to the next time. But going on, so this was the first real time that I've used the 360 camera for anything, well, on track specifically, as well as getting the time lapse, which is posted if you haven't seen that. The only problem is that I finagled the mount for it. So when I mounted it on the trailer for the time lapse, I had it in a different configuration than what I had planned for the car. So when I put it back on the car, as you'll see in possibly some of the video that I put into this video from the first session, the camera starts to tilt to the right because I did not put the clamp in the right spot. So I don't know. There's something weird with the ball clamps that don't hold the camera too well with the wind. But I can verify that the mount and all that, the suction cups especially, survived a 152 mile an hour back straight and riding curbs on the track as well. So those mounts, the triple mount specifically, is very good. The only issue that I discovered was that I like to do direction lock, and I'm an idiot, and instead of putting it so that what I learned later on was that for direction lock, the camera defaults to the lens that is on the side of the camera that has a screen on it. And the way I was mounting the camera, more for less wind resistance than anything, was orienting it, sorry, I can't speak right now, so that the lenses were on the left and the right rather than the front and the back. So I had to do quite a bit of editing just because of that, especially towards the time when the battery of the camera was dying. I think could have been that it was getting dark as well, but it kept losing orientation and ability to lock, so there's a lot of editing to have to go on there. But I've learned that, how to orient it, and I've also relearned my mounting configurations for the car and for the trailer. Moving on, because of that time lapse of both there and back, I only got to record about 75%-ish each way, and that was because the battery on the camera died. So I have thought and brainstormed some ideas of I need to bring a battery bank, and then how to make sure that I can charge the camera while on the road. So that's there too. Big issue I had out on track. It only happened once, but this is the second time since I've been doing track events that the car has shut itself off. Both times, coincidentally, on the top of roller coaster, which is after the back straight. And the car just completely shut off, and I turned it back on and it started just fine. I thought when I looked at it, just because in the moment I was terrified, I thought it was because of low oil pressure, but it wasn't. I mean, the oil temp was hot. I think I got up to 250 on oil temps, so a little bit hotter than it was last season. From what I can remember, I think the max I got to was 240, but got up to 250. And when I pulled into the pits, there was no leaking or anything, so I don't know what the issue could be. Might be oil pump. I do not know, but yeah, so got that issue. And something that you will all notice from the videos and probably from other ones, and also things that have been pointed out, and I'm now aware of it heavily, is I'm a I guess not a very good driver in a sense, because I have yet to force myself to learn how to heel toe shift. In this car, the pedal is not floor based. It's on a hinge going up, but it's really just me creating an excuse. I need to learn how to heel toe shift this thing so that my downshifts are better and I'm not just jumping RPMs when I decide to go back into gear and re-engage the clutch. So that's on me. That also goes into my my next possibility is, as I've just discussed, the possibility of oil issues. I don't think there is any, because the oil level was fine. Oil temps never screamed crazy high. There are no leaks or anything like that, but I want to see if the oil pressure gauge is jacked up in some way, either loose connector under the hood or if the gauge itself is just going crazy. I also need to I need to probably also get a new O2 sensor, because I think that is going out as well. And as I've mentioned also, and kind of getting irritated with myself saying this, but I've said it in multiple videos, where I haven't really touched the car in 4 years just because it's been so stable, and now I think it's coming back to bite me. But the gauges part, the sensors, those are just suspicions, not necessarily something that is wrong, but just suspicions. So there's that. But now that I'm in DE3 as well, two things that I have talked about previously, but haven't thought deliberately about. But I think the time is coming to get a roll cage for this thing and stiffening it up, especially because props to the guy that was in the Forester. I forget his name, but 777. I remember last event, he was three-wheeling that thing all around the track, and it was pretty awesome to watch. And he was actually one of the people that I had to give a point by this weekend, because that thing just stuck to the ground, and better driver than I am, honestly. But he knew how to drive that Forester, and it was not three-wheeling, and it had a I'm not sure if it had it last time, but I don't think it did. So it definitely stiffened up the chassis a bit, and I want to do that with this. I also need new suspension, since these coilovers, BCBR Racings, I've had these on since college, and that was back in 2011. I think I put those on. So I'm astounded that they've held up for this long. But on top of that, because of the electric issues that I'm having, and then there's some hiccups in the tuning, or it's just my foot and I'm chicken footing it while driving around track, or because my seat is a bit wide for me, small dude, but I got the seats so that friends that are bigger than I am can actually fit into them. It could be that also during turning, I am sliding a bit too much and my foot is coming off the pedal. So another excuse, but I've wanted to upgrade to a Haltech ECU for quite a while, and I think I'm getting to that point that I need to be able to do that. as well as just improving connectors and all that as well. So that is going to be in the books. But as far as I can recall, I used notes for this. I think that's all that I've got for this weekend. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, stay driven. And then here's some video of the track, or on track.